time to start getting into the holiday spirit, performing You're Not Alone from their new CD for Christmas, Christmas Interpretations. Give it up for Boyz II Men.
Imagine an album starting off with a cappella vocals from Sean Stockman, Nathan Morris, Wanye Morris, and Michael McCary. Hey, what's up? I'm Lauren Six Wilson. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time, welcome back to my channel if it isn't. And today we're going to talk about Boyz II Men's Christmas Interpretations. This is an amazing Christmas album and the perfect way to kick off any kind of Christmas vibe, holiday vibes. This is just a really good ear candy. But let's get into it. Don't ever doubt you'll be a someone. Always go for what you want. Get up and put your purpose on. Get up, feel the sunshine on your face. Believe that you deserve it all. Put in the work and you will end up far. This is my show and tell. So tell me, are you ready to get it on? So tell me, yeah. So tell me, are you ready? So tell me, are you ready for me? So tell me, are you ready? Tell me, are you ready? What's up, y'all? And we're gonna get straight into it. Boyz II Men's Christmas Interpretations released October 1993. Boyz II Men Christmas Interpretations was released October 5th, 1993. Boyz II Men was just coming off the success of their debut album, 9 times platinum debut album, Cooley High Harmony. They were just coming off the success of End of the Road and In the Still of the Night, and they segued into the release of their first single off of Christmas Interpretations entitled Let It Snow. Let It Snow was released September 28th, 1993, also featuring Brian McKnight, who also helped them write and produce this entire Christmas album. Brian McKnight was also coming off the success of his self-titled debut album released in 1992, and also the success of his single, One Last Cry, One Last Cry. Boyz II Men and Brian McKnight went on to release Let It Snow, and it peaked at number 17 on the R&B and hip-hop charts. The album includes 10 tracks. It has a Silent Night intro, and it goes straight into Let It Snow, Share Love, You Are Not Alone, A Joyous Christmas, Why Christmas, Cold December Nights, Do They Know, Who Would Have Thought, and the completed version of Silent Night is the way that the album ends. The album gives you a jazzy, quiet storm album feel. It absolutely gives you the production style of Brian McKnight and what Boyz II Men was also working towards, because they haven't even released their sophomore album yet. That is pretty dope. You haven't even released your sophomore album and you're already releasing a holiday album with a successful single. That's pretty big. Some of the album's production feel also gives me like Jodeci vibes, probably because it was 1993 at the time, and that's what a lot of music, especially Jodeci, a lot of music at that time was sounding like that. And it's just the perfect like chill, quiet storm, cool vibe, if you know what I mean. And if you like a lot of that stuff, Brian McKnight and Boyz II Men, as I said, was releasing a lot of those type of, tracks on their regular LPs. Imagine an album starting off with a cappella vocals from Sean Stockman, Nathan Morris, Wanye Morris, and Michael McCary. You've got Christmas Interpretations. The album not only gives quiet storm vibes, the album also gives a sense of romance during the holidays, hence the song You Are Not Alone. You're gonna hear those classic Boyz II Men harmonies in songs like Why Christmas. You're gonna hear those wonderful runs, and you're gonna hear those intricate runs in songs like A Joyous Song. Now, of course, there was heavy promotion for this album, in my opinion, because they did live performances on specials like the Arsenio Hall show for an Arsenio Christmas, I believe that was the name of the special, where they performed live songs, including Snow and You Are Not Alone live. Boyz II Men took tradition and merged it with R&B. Of course, the album has commercial and critical acclaim, going 2 times platinum, selling over 1 million copies. And an editor from AllMusic described the album as cozy, velvety, and a hip, quiet storm. There was no official single released after Let It Snow, but of course Let It Snow has a music video. And again, you could find live performances from songs like Let It Snow, You're Not Alone, and get those lush Boyz II Men harmonies live. It's nothing like the 4 of them together. And I recently found out that it was actually 5 of them when they started out. Imagine if there was 5 of them singing these Christmas songs. Man, that would have been crazy. I wonder what they think of that. I wonder what they think some of their songs or some of their albums would have been different. You know what I mean? But, you know, I like the 4 of them. I really miss the 4 of them performing together like we're used to seeing them, but they still get together from time to time because recently I seen all 4 of them gather on stage together. So it's pretty cool that they all are still connected. Boyz II Men ends this album with the complete silent night, unlike the intro, which kind of cuts off with like 1 or 2 verses, of course, but they add more harmonies and it gives you that, you know, Christmas caroling, you know, that barbershop style quartet singing a cappella Christmas caroling during the holidays. You know what I mean? It just, it gives me like, you know what it reminds me of? It also reminds me of like Andre Crouch. If you guys listen to some of Andre Crouch's music and just some of the vibes that his music gives, it just reminds me of like, I don't know, the olden days, or I don't know, it's something very classic about the way that they're singing Silent Night, all of these songs, but definitely when they have a cappella moments on, I mean, like they do throughout the album, but like on Silent Night, and on all of their albums, they have a lot of a cappella moments. But, their harmonies, do we really need to dissect and discuss Boyz II Men's harmonies? It really speaks for ourselves. We didn't hear from Boyz II Men until July of 1994. I'm just saying that's just what the history of the numbers say. It's not like I was actually in the room. But we didn't hear from Boyz II Men until July 1994 with the follow-up of their sophomore album coming off of Coolie High Harmony, having to not reinvent themselves, but kind of just follow up with the bridge of their holiday album, because this is like the album like right in between all of that. Like I said, there was no official single release after Let It Snow, so we didn't hear from Boyz II Men until they released I'll Make Love to You, going right into the beginning of their sophomore album, 2. 2, released August 30th, 1994, went to sell over 10 million copies. Now that is definitely beating the sophomore jinx, especially having a holiday album come out right after your debut. It's kind of risky in my opinion. I think it's risky. I don't know everything, but it's one of those things where it's like you're expecting that artist that just came out to immediately follow up with a sophomore album. They follow with you know, a holiday album. It's almost like they fall off, but they quite frankly did not fall off. This was received very well, if not actually, you know, is a key point in their story. Like, you can't really tell their history without kind of mentioning this, Let It Snow. Like, you can't graze by that video, by this album. You know what I mean? So I think that it was absolutely a power move. I don't think a lot of groups, period, could have done that in their era, you know, because groups have done that before, like the Supremes and Jackson 5. They all released holiday albums, even solo artists, and I'm sure they released them at different times. But I'm just saying, y'all get what I'm saying? To release an entire holiday album, you know, did I mention that they wrote and produced this entire album along with Brian McKnight? I mean, come on now. So to be doing that, they did the same thing with their debut album. A lot of people don't know that. And they released a holiday album before they even dropped a single to their second album, which, you know, would have been smart. I hope y'all following me. But their second album, like I said, went to come out and it beat that sophomore jinx. Like, with a baseball bat, like with a sack with some rocks in it. Beat it. Beat it harder than Michael. But that is just my 2 cents on Christmas interpretations. Check out my other holiday album videos that I've already kind of spoke on different holiday albums that I love to listen to around this time. Let me know what's your favorite holiday album, because I want to know if I haven't heard it yet. I want to hear it. I don't care. It could be from any time, any genre, but I love holiday music. I love soulful holiday music, and I love groups. So yes, check out my other holiday album videos and all of my current videos. And what is your favorite holiday album or holiday song or holiday single. I'm sure a lot of people is gonna, you can't really mention the holidays without bringing up Mariah Carey, but you know, of course she's right there in my favorites. But I just had to bring this up because I saw other people online sharing it, and it is kind of a good album to kind of kick off December and the holiday season with. So I was like, yeah, I have this album. Let me pull this out and kind of give my 2 cents on it. This album is successful. Again, a 2 times platinum Christmas album coming off of a really successful debut album, going into a successful sophomore album, and they wasn't done. Boyz II Men wasn't done. So shout out to Boyz II Men. You guys are one of my favorite vocal power groups ever. You guys are up there, you know, Jackson 5 and all of those amazing groups, of course, you know. But I'll see y'all in the next video, and let me know what your favorite holiday song and album is. I'll see y'all in the next video.